What's good, YouTube? It's your man BG Tech Life, and as you can see, I got the Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra on deck. And today, I want to share my thoughts with you guys. I had the device for a little while. I wanted to tap back in with y'all and give y'all my honest thoughts. So let's get into it. Okay, YouTube, as somebody that's been using the S25 Ultra since it came out, I got some thoughts. I've been saying a lot of things in the tech community, in the tech world, so I kind of wanted to make this video to just put my authentic spin on this device, and it's really going to be unbiased. Y'all know I do like Samsung stuff and things of that nature, and I said if I only had one phone, it'd be a Note or Ultra or something of that nature, but at the same time, I'm not really that much invested in this phone where I sit here and lie or make it better than what it is. But at the same time, I still want to be honest about the ups and downs. So first and foremost, guys, I will say this is no big jump from the S24 Ultra at all. S25 Ultra is not a big jump. You get an S25 Ultra, it's not going to feel like you have just this new device with all these new features and new options. Not at all. Now, is it the same as the S24 Ultra? No. If I was to say it was the same, that would be a blanket statement. That would be a lie, because it's not the same. It's impossible. If I tell you it's the same, that means I'm a lazy reviewer because I haven't done my research. Now, what I will say is the difference is you probably won't see. The differences between the S24 Ultra and the S25 Ultra, the biggest difference is the Snapdragon 8 Elite processor in the S25 Ultra. Is faster and more efficient than the processor in the S24 Ultra. But if you're not putting your device to the test to use all the power that these Snapdragon processors come with, you're really not going to notice the difference at all anyway. So there are some differences that exist, but depending on the type of user you are, you may not notice. Now, the build from the S24 Ultra to the S25 Ultra is different also, and that's a good and bad thing. I'm gonna be honest with you. The S24 Ultra was heavy to me and fatigued my hand at times, my hand and wrist. S25 Ultra is like 20 grams lighter, but for some reason, it just makes a big difference. S25 Ultra feels a lot lighter, and I like that. But at the same time, with them making a lighter device, it seems like they've changed the build and kind of messed it up a little bit. They messed the build up by making these flat sides that feel sharp when you hold them in the hand. So I got a lighter device, but on the other hand, the lighter device is not as comfortable as the S24 Ultra in hand because of sharp flat sides. The S24 Ultra almost had completely flat sides, but they had curves to them. So when I held the device in hand, it felt like it fit right into my palm perfectly, no sharp edges. So this is not a comparison between the S24 Ultra and the S25 Ultra. It's just a lot of people that want to know the difference, and it's not many differences, so I wanted to share that. And also the Bluetooth. The Bluetooth in the S Pen, S25 Ultra lost Bluetooth features. I'm gonna be honest with you, I really didn't utilize those features, but for y'all that utilize those features, that could be a big thing. That remote was pretty clutch if you end taking pictures and using your remote and really wanding your device. My use of the S Pen is more taking notes. Now, with this device only getting a new ultra wide 50 megapixel sensor, I didn't really see too much difference, I'll be honest with you. But I will say that this device is kind of tricky, whereas though this is not the best point and shoot, but you can get some great content, some great video, and if you know how to take pictures in RAW and edit them yourself and things of that nature, you can take some amazing pictures because they still are powerful sensors. But at the end of the day, I don't know if Samsung need to follow what OnePlus did and get with a Hasselblad or a true on camera company, because I just feel like the point and shoot processing at times is off and needs adjustments. Now, Samsung One UI has become one of my favorite UIs on the smart device because you got a lot of features, you got the edge panel, you got a lot of customization, you got things that work with the S Pen, you got Galaxy AI. This is a feature-packed phone. Now, going from the S24 Ultra to the S25 Ultra and getting One UI 7 on the S25 Ultra and still no One UI 7 on other devices like the Fold 6, S24 Ultra, S23 Ultra, other powerful devices that deserve this new updated software, it kind of makes me want to frown upon Samsung. Because when we're almost pushing for Android 16, so a lot of devices that still cost a lot of money, that are still really powerful, that are still in stores, don't have Android 15 on the Samsung side. And I feel like Samsung has been in the game too long for it not to have, this software that's on the S25 Ultra on other devices. And I've never been a fan of device exclusive software. One of the reasons that I've always liked Apple is how Apple did their updates. Every Apple device that's available for an update, just get the update when the update comes out. And with Samsung not quite moving like that, it feels like they're behind the times, and it feels like everything is off in the Samsung ecosystem right now. So that's really something that they need to work on also. But I'm going to be honest with you guys. I see a lot of comparisons to the Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra with other devices. Like, people might compare this device to the OnePlus 13. And I feel like that shouldn't be what it is. The OnePlus 13 should be compared to a device like a Galaxy S25 Plus. This is a niche device. The Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra has an S Pen in it. It has 2 extra camera sensors. It's a very niche device, and I feel like the consumer of the S25 Ultra should realize that you should be buying this device for a reason. If you don't have a specific reason, or you don't need an S Pen for your device, then you may be wasting money on the S25 Ultra, and when you buy the device, you may be underwhelmed if you're not sure what you're going to do with the device to actually get your money's worth. But that's what I want y'all to think about when y'all out here buying these devices. What you need out of the device, what you're going to utilize, because that'll tell you what type of device that you want to buy, and you'll get the best bang for your buck and the best experience. If you buy a device and spend a lot of money on it because they have a lot of bells and whistles that you don't plan to use, you're going to feel like you got for your money. And that's the last thing I want you guys to do. So when it comes to the S25 Ultra, yeah, still a really good device, still a really powerful device, still one of the best camera systems on the Android side. That needs some work though at the same time. But at the same time, it's a niche device. Everybody don't need this type of power. Everybody don't need an S Pen. Everybody don't need a 200 megapixel sensor to snap a quick picture. So those are just some honest thoughts I wanted to put out there. It's your boy BG Tech Life. Thanks for watching. Hit that like button. If you're not subscribed, get subscribed. I'm out. Peace.